You see, 141 is always the scammers. The scammers are calling at this time of the day. They are looking for the seniors to scam them. And I watch the news, the 6 o'clock news, and sometimes the morning news. And everybody on TikTok, you guys are on Instagram. People spend, I don't know what is going on, but weeks and weeks. We have this man named Pat Forum on CTV News in Toronto, and he's talking about the scammers, and people are so easily scammed. And it's not, even if you're older, I think they just don't know. You know, they don't know. God has sent me some amazing team members, so grateful, and they do an amazing job. Congratulations, you've worked and prayed for that for a long time. Great job. I don't know, because one man last week was scammed of $750,000. A lady, she was scammed of $25,000, and she's a house caregiver or cleaner or something like that. And what I'm saying is that those of you who come to the live, make sure you spread the news about these scammers. Some people don't watch the news, you know. They said it's all sad, but in between sadness, there are sometimes inspiration or wisdom. So in between the sad news, you will find there's going to be one thing that you might need to know, so you would avoid getting yourself scammed. There was a lady from Aurelia in North Toronto, Ontario, and she ended up in jail in Hong Kong because she trusted these people she met on the internet, and she was a widow. She was 62, and they told her they fell in love with her. Well, it's 5 after, so let's start the show today. Today is Wednesday. Hi, Kazi. Today is Wednesday. And it is June 26th, 25th. And we're going to do scammers. The scammers are still winning. They are winning, people. What are you doing about it? Even if you're bright enough and smart enough not to fall for the scammers, they call. You see this phone call we just had? 141. And the number goes on, right? I bet you if I picked it up, you would hear them go, "Hi, ma'am. Ma'am, what? I want to sell you Canada insurance." Canada, the country, does not sell life insurance for anybody, but they use the name. And that is one way they do it, you know. But one of the things we have to understand is that the week after week, we see it. The scammers are getting bolder, slicker, and more evasive. They try all sorts of things to get to people. They play on your sympathy, on your love, your compassion, your children, your weaknesses. And you think people would stop falling for it, but they are not. Because they're still losing their life savings, their identities, and their peace of mind. Every week, you hear it several times a week, they talk about it. And yes, you get text messages. You get, or you won your deliveries in customs. And this lady, this week in Toronto, she got scammed $25,000 because they told her that they're calling from the Canada Revenue Agency, like your IRS in the United States. And that she had to pay that money right away. And she believed them. She didn't call Canada Revenue and sit there and say, okay, and call them and find out. It boggles my mind that people just hand over their hard-earned money. But you know what? I give them kudos for going to the news media so that they show their face and people can relate to that, and more people will either be aware or they will report it. Rena just said, "I got scammed, but I worked hard to fight it back." You see what I mean? It was a PayPal scam. So they come in all sorts of colors and ways of doing it. And then, Georgette, I have a Canadian license, and they try to scam that. That is what they do. So People are still losing their life savings, their identities, their peace of mind. Why? Because many people still don't believe it can happen to them. It's like saying, you know what, John Doe down the street had a car accident. Chances are it won't happen to me, but it can happen to you. That's what you're saying. So-and-so got a virus, but you're hanging with so-and-so. You're going to get the virus. Possible. And that is how they get there. And, you know, look, Rena said they're sophisticated crooks. And the music I put with it is scammers. You want to take our hard-earned money. I never knew there was a song about scammers until I put it scammers and the song came up. So people do not understand. I am here today to tell you, if you're not staying alert, you are the next target. If you are not alert, you are the next target. Stop being so trusting. That nice voice is not their real voice. They're actors and they're thieves, and that is what they're doing. You know, they're more evasive to catch, and you think people would stop falling for it, but they're not. They're not falling for it. They're still losing their life saving, their identities, everything. If you're listening to the news in your area or checking your local alerts, you're playing right into the scammers' hands if you do not do that. You have to listen to the news of your city, because those things come up really quickly. They bring it up right away. And when there is an alert, and when you hear it, don't just dismiss it and say that person is a fool. They have ways of finding you. They call and they talk to you in a soft voice, and they go on, and they have all the patience in the world. People do it in business too. Promise you one thing. Oh my goodness, Rena, don't even go there, guys. I think that's a scam. It is a scam. My girlfriend's garage door wasn't working. She called this company. The man, right here in Ontario, she called this company. The man came, and whatever he did in the garage, he came out and he said to her, you need a new garage door opener, but I fixed it for you. It will hold until you get your new garage door and garage opener. We have a sale. $3,700 plus tax. She has a neighbor standing right next to her who is a man. And you would think between the two of them, the vibration of the universe would say, hold on, not so fast. The neighbor was supposed to advise her. But she let her weak emotion, the fear of not having a garage door, the fear of not having able to park her car in the garage, frightened her. She pulled out her credit card. Praise the Lord, it was a credit card. And she gave it to the man. We will be back on Wednesday to install your new door. Wednesday came, he called, we cannot get the door. She kept calling and calling, no door coming in. He stopped calling her. The place where his calls went through, they stopped picking up the call. So then she told me, I said, call the credit card company right away. She called them, she told them the case, what's going on. And it took 6 weeks. But they just followed the trail of where the money went because it was a credit card, and they were able to take it and give her back her money. But this is not all, guys. The man that she called another company to see what if they could fix it. She trusted the guy that he only patched it up. The guy who came from the second company said, lady, your door is fine. Whoever did it fixed the door. But he just wanted to scam her of almost I think it was $4,000 with tax and everything. So that is what happened. And it's not only love scams. It's not only the scam of the police. The IRS is at your door. My sister is in New York. She retired to Dominica, but she came up to New York for her medicals and all of that in the past couple of months. She called me yesterday. She said she got a phone call, and the man told her she hasn't paid her electricity bill and they're going to cut it off right away. She has 20 minutes to pay it or they'll cut it off, and he can take the payment right now over the phone. And she's my sister, so she knows and she listens to me. All her life I've been money is my game. So I work for the bank. I saw fraud, first class. And she said, well, oh, can I call you back because I want to verify that I owe that much money? Just, well, lady, you only have 20 minutes. Now it's down to 15. And in 15 minutes, they'll be cutting your electricity. And that's when she just hung up. And that is one of the scams people get. And Georgia said they send mail for an account that is prepaid and called before deadline to book appointment, read to warranty. Can you believe that? Warranties companies try everything to make you not qualify. To buy them, they don't buy them, they don't honor them. Awful. But that's not but like the girls on Instagram are talking. But that's not the company who installed it on the, no. That is the company, he fixed it, somebody else came. So another thing, the big fraud now, they call you and they say they're calling from your bank and they need your help in catching thieves that are taking money from your account. Listen to me. I come from the inside of the belly of TD Canada Trust. I was there with them working for decades. They have the 20-foot floor in a tower somewhere downtown, completely devoted to fraud and scams and forensic and financial forensic. They don't need you. They will never ask a customer to help them catch thieves. They have people that are paid for that. As a matter of fact, when there is a holdup at the bank, we are warned. The money is insured. Your life is not sure. Do not stand there and let them kill you. Give them the money. The money is insured. So why would they tell you, hey, your account is being scammed and you better help us by letting us. So take all your money. What we want you to do, you have this account we have opened for you. And we want you to take all your money and transfer it to this account, $75,000. That 65-year-old lady's left. That was her life savings. And she didn't know. And she did that. She gave it to them. So, you guys, it's awful what they do. They prey on the elderly. And if you have people, and sometimes they prey on greed. A lot of young people now are doing Bitcoin and all of these things. And they come on the Bitcoin meetings that you're having and they tell you they can take care of your money and make more money for you in Bitcoin. And they scam you of your money. They come on YouTube, Facebook, internet, all of these places. And they tell me, I can get you to scale. I can get you to get more followers. More followers is not more money in the bank. What is more money in the bank is people that you teach, you train, you help, you advise. So when they want to give me my SEO, SQB, I don't give a shit what acronyms they use. No, I have an urge to serve, to help you, just to give you one little pearl that you keep yourself and your grandmother and your parents. If you're not listening to the news, then you are losing. Let a grandmother in Scarborough, right, lost $20,000 to a man pretending to be her grandson in trouble. He pretended he was her grandson, and she's an older lady. She didn't really capture the voice. A small business owner in Brampton received a fake CRA notice. Canada Revenue Agency, aka IRS, pay $420 in back taxes through Bitcoin. He didn't owe anybody anything, but that is what they're doing. A family in Mississauga gave remote access to his computer, thinking it was Microsoft support. They emptied his bank account in 20 minutes. That's all the money they had. And these are not isolated cases. These are cases I know. I see the results of it. I see the faces crying and screaming. They're happening every single day in your community. You must watch the local news and pick up what's going on. It is important. It is dangerous out there. So let's be honest about that. It is dangerous and people don't watch the news because it's too depressing. I get it. I understand it. But scammers feature in community bulletins, the police reports and press conferences. They talk about them on the news. Watching the news isn't just about politics. It's about self-defense, financial self-defense. So you guys know I talk about that in the 5 pillars of prosperity. So if your financial prosperity is being like abused, like these people I just talked about, how is that affecting you emotionally? How is that weighing on your mental prosperity? What are you going to do about it physically? You're going not to eat. You're going to cry. You're going to be upset. You're going to be stressed. You're going to be worried. Hey, your body is going to pay the price. Your immunity will fail. Spiritually, you'll be angry. And anger has no place in being a spiritual being. You do not have to be, I didn't talk about a church or a dogma. It's just being a person that is accepting of others and themselves. And if that happens to you, do you think you're going to sit there and be nice? You're going to be angry like hell. And what is going to happen? All your pillars are out of work. And that's what they want you to do. The scammers still win. They still win. Because they understand human emotion. They prey on your emotion. They prey on your desperation. They know you trust people in authority. They know you have a fear of missing out. They know you are curious. Pay me in Bitcoin. And they give you all the instruction, but they empty your account. Excuse me. They disguise themselves as government agents. You know that? Bank employees, delivery companies, children in crisis, job opportunities. That's a bad one. This woman I know in Maryland, USA, she wanted a part-time job because just to help along because of the cost of food for herself and her family, husband, trying to get it together. In the same time, they're going to buy a home, closing in 2 weeks. So when she went to this coming employment opportunity, job opportunity, they asked for her bank account number to put the money in because she's going to work for them. So they're putting the cart before the horse. You have to work. The horse has to pull the cart. The cart doesn't pull the horse. But she didn't catch that. So she gave them access to her account. Luckily, her bank was aware they were buying this house and froze her account immediately. They realized it was a scam. We want your account so we can put the money in your bank account for you. But you haven't worked for them yet. Wait, I don't know you. What am I doing? Let me see the job. She did it and she just came this close to losing her home. What do you think of that? What? You cannot be trusted. And they do it so well, it's flawless. They've got the opportunity to do it as good as they can, it is flawless. So you have to learn to protect yourself. Never click links in emails or texts. Never do that from unknown sources. Never give remote access to your devices. Never do that. Never trust caller ID that you do not know. Scammers can spoof phone numbers too. You look at the numbers. And if it's a company you deal with, let it ring. Take the number and call them yourself. Never unshare your PIN number or password or security question. Do not do that. They know how to do that. Always confirm with a trusted number or in a person call before taking action. Call the bank. Call the company. Verify. Go to them. This is why I know a lot of you, all of you love to do remote banking on but bankings that have no building. You remember that show called Chairs? I like to go somewhere where somebody knows my name. That is what happens when you go to a bank building, one if a building. I know they give discounts and rates, but they are remote. It's hard to get to them to double check that this thing that is hanging over your head like a noose is real. Maybe it's not real. So you have to be careful. Always confirm with a trusted number or in person before taking action. Use 2-factor authentication on everything. You make sure you have two-factor authentication. Tell someone you trust before making any transaction you are unsure of. You don't know, slow. You don't know, pause. I do a big thing on pausing. Just pause before you take a step. Take 3 seconds before acting on any request. Those 3 seconds can save you everything. Your elders, elder watch, a special word to protect your seniors in your family. Scammers often target our elders. That's what they do. We are vulnerable and they don't know much. So that's why. Because they trust easily. They were raised in a time when people were honest and they're ashamed to admit when they have been tricked. So keep track. When your mother or your grandmother is saying, can I come live with you? I can't afford to do this. It's things that, check it out. Look at their bank account. This lady that ended up in Hong Kong in the end, in jail in Hong Kong, after she had given the man over 400,000, ended up living in a small bedroom in her daughter's house. And it's only when she asked them to borrow $1,500 and she showed up and went to live with them, they realized she had given this man from Timbuktu for over $400,000. But it wasn't enough for him. It was on a show called, I forgot what it's called. Anyway, just a show in Canada. And on that show, he came back again. He enticed her to some other country, kept her in a hotel, never visited her, had his friends visit her. Then he gave her a suitcase full of dresses. And when she was showing the dresses to her daughter back in Toronto or in Ontario and said, these colors are too bright, but you can wear them when I come back. They told her, okay, you have to meet him in Hong Kong. She was arrested at the airport in Hong Kong. The clothes was completely sewn with drug in the hems and the buttons. She came out of the airport with a bag cloth over her head. 9 months during COVID in Hong Kong. She was 62. She wasn't that old. So, because tell your elders, if you ever feel unsure, call me first. I don't care what time it is, just call me Grammy, call me grandma, call me mom, call me dad, call me auntie. Do not do things without me knowing. We don't want your money, they do. We want you to have it so you can live a good life. Spoofing, faking a caller ID or email address to appear legitimate. That's why they call this thing Canada insurance. No, Canada doesn't sell insurance. The country does not sell insurance. Even health is free. Phishing. Do you guys know what phishing? P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G. Sending fake messages to trick you into giving personal info. You don't know it. You don't recognize it. It calls you Tessa-Marie Shillingford and the rest, or it calls you by your email address. Hey, your bank isn't going to send a letter to you with your email address as hello email address. No. Voice phishing over the phone. When somebody calls you and they ask you this question, can you hear me? Do not answer. All you have to say is the word yes. And they use that word to get companies to give them what they want on your name, based on the word yes. Educate yourself. Share these words with others. So, your call to action today, I ask you to watch or read one local news story about scams this week. They're on Google. They're all over the place. Share it with 3 people you care about. It could be your sister, your brother, your neighbor. Talk about scams in your neighborhood. If you have a community neighborhood watch, they will have it on the neighborhood paper. The scammers are in the area. They'll tell you that. They'll come and tell you your interlocking stones need to be clean and it'll cost you $3,000 when they don't even do an hour's work. Talk about scams with your family. Yes, even the children. The more we talk about it, the fewer people will fall for it. Remember that. And when you protect yourself, you protect your community. So let's stand together, spread the word, and stay aware. Much of this with love. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Have a wonderful day for